I'm Sirkin.
I'm Felix Cartel.
I'm DJ Babu.
I'm making electronic music.
I'm with a DJ crew called the world famous Beat Junkies.
I'm an electronic music producer and DJ.
Los Angeles, California, United States of America.
My favorite thing about sampling, I think, is the ability to take something that's so old and make it sound modern.
And you sing, and you're like, whoa, what is that?
Somebody has discovered this sample that works so well, like in a modern context.
Maybe like 90% of my tracks are samples.
It comes from that hand-me-down attitude of hip-hop. We're gonna take our parents' records and just find the good parts that we like and create this whole culture and this whole new movement.
That is just as musical as creating your own music, because in a sense, that's still what you kind of are doing.
You know, the Disco Refill is an incredible collection of sounds. You know, usually I'm going off of records. You have to get really lucky and find a record where musicians are breaking things down and leaving things open.
That's the thing of sampling. You know, you find a great vocal and then there's a horn shot behind it and you can't get rid of it. It'll drive you crazy. But the rec samples is great because you just take what you want from the element. It's literally like having all the tracks on a mixing board and you just pull down the ones you don't need and then you leave the ones up you want.
I got the Disco School Refill a few days ago and I really like what I came up with. But let me break down the track. I first grabbed some strings actually. I started off with this layer and I layered it with this other track. And so usually at this point, you know, in my usual style of production of grabbing samples off of records, I would have grabbed a whole groove or a sample already. But here, I have all these great raw elements from the Disco School Refill. Instead of searching for a loop, I'm kind of trying to build a loop. So I got these 2 layers of strings, and then I added guitar. You hear it come in on the one. So I added that a little bit. And then from there, I guess I added a shaker to it. Or wait, I added this little reverse clap. So, you know, I was just working an 8-bar chunk and I just kept stacking and layering and then I brought in some bass. Some congas. You know, all the source for everything right there is the Disco School Refill at that point. As I was making this, I kept imagining these drums. You know, a certain drum break I knew off the top of my head from my collection. So I went to my collection, recorded a record, rexed it up, and threw it in here. And lo and behold, it sounded great. It's exactly what I imagined. It sounds something like this now. Some of my best drum sounds come from disco records. Disco breaks, just big, fat, round kicks, chunky snares.
It's one of the first types of music that was really designed to work in the club.
Elegant strings on top, very funky guitar.
I feel that disco really kind of helped pioneer what makes dance music great, which is just a strong groove and a strong bass line.
I think there is always something disco in the music you hear now.
So many house tracks these days are just sampling old disco tracks.
If you listen to the Justice album, that was a really big record, really influenced by disco and in a really like modern way also. So this is a track I made. I think like maybe 80% of the sounds are coming straight from the Disco School Refill. I basically took this sample. It's a Rex 5. I pitched it up to maybe, and then it's just took single hits and really like a pattern with that. And that's really like the core of the track, like this Rex 5, this cut up. I added like one of the loops, drum loops of the Disco Refill, but I put a high pass filter on it just to keep the high frequencies. Simple, just a loop. And then like really in the background, but you can still feel it. It makes the maybe like the bit more alive. The cool thing with Rex files is that you can just take one note and put it like in a NN19, for example, with a LFO on it. I can solo it. So basically, like without the LFO, it will be like this. With the LFO, and it's basically just like a conga sample. It's really good material to do your own stuff.
What I was trying to do with this track was take the disco sample that I liked from the disco school pack and just kind of rework it with some of my own sounds and make kind of a current sounding club track. It's really simple. Coming up here, I bring in the bit of the strings that come in the break. The ascending note behind it is just my own note that I brought in. White noise tension, and then it goes to the break. And that's where the string parts come in their full. And then I brought this Rhodes thing in as well. What I did with the Rhodes was I looped the A minor chord so that it's kind of like a dance trick. If you play the progression all the way to the end, you don't really know when the drop's coming, but if you loop the first chord over and over again, you kind of like, you're gonna feel the tension. The Rhodes actually sounded really nice because it had this building quality to it. Nice stab on the one. I brought in a synth line that's in the main drop to kind of like preview what's gonna happen on the drop.
Having something now like a disco refill, it's incredible. It's definitely something where I still feel as if like I'm sampling from authentic sources, you know, being able to cut and paste and do my style of production.
The thing I like about the disco school sample was each kind of song had a different vibe to it. I feel like it covered the ballad side of disco, the upbeat side of disco, the really almost houseier sides of it.
You had some like vinyl crackles on it, and it really sounds like the real thing.
I mean, it's hard to sum up disco in 6 songs, but you know, I think they did a good job of it.
Just having all that control over all these instruments with all these variations, and it all makes perfect sense of how it all locks in if you have the vision in your head. It's really easy just to puzzle it and piece it all together.